Welcome to our lesson 7 on concept and referent, as well as universal and particular, of our course on logic or mantiq. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma akhrijna min zulumatil wahm wa akrimna binuril fahm. Allahumma aftah alayna abwaab rahmatik وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Before we properly discuss lesson 7, let us have a quick summary of the previous lesson about classifications of words. First, when we consider a word with its meaning, as we may recall, it could be one of the 5 kinds. 1. Monosemic or mukhtas. 2. Polysemic or mushtarak. 3. Derived or manqul. 4. Improvised or murtajal. And number 5, literal, haqiqa, and figurative or mujaz. 2. When 2 or more words are compared, they may be one of the 2 kinds. 1 we call synonymy or taraduf, and 2 heterogeneity or tabayun. 3. A third way of classifying words is either as singular or mufrad or compound or murakkab. Number 4, compound words are divided into complete or tam and incomplete or naqis, while perfect compound can be either predicative or khabar or non-predicative or insha. Number 5, in the parlance of logic, a singular or mufrad word or expression is divided into 3. 1. Kalima, 2. Ism, and 3. Adat. Now, in this lesson on concept and referent, as well as universal and particular, we will be dealing with the following topics. 1. Concept or mafhūm. 2. Referent or miṣdāq. 3. Division of concept into universal or kullī and particular or juz'ī. And number 4, universal concepts. Number 5, particular concepts. And number 6, relative particular concepts. Concept or mafhūm. As we observe, the human mind is like a mirror in which images of things are reflected. At this very moment, this is being done as far as our respective minds are concerned. This is the way man learns about things, wherein images of things are reflected in our mind. And all of us have understanding of 3, sun and water, and even with no direct relations, there are images of them in our mind. This mental picture is called concept, that is mafhūm. referent or miṣdāq. A property of a concept is its indication. And any concept by nature always indicates things. So what a concept indicates and applies to it is called referent or miṣdāq. Mental image of the sun, therefore, is the concept, meaning the mental picture that we have in the mind. That is the concept. While the physical sun, the actual sun which is in the outside world, is its referent or miṣdāq. Note 1. A referent of a concept is sometimes something out of the mind, like the reference for human, which is a being outside of the mind. Sometimes the referent for a concept is merely mental and with no referent outside of the mind or any natural manifestation, like the concept itself, that all of its referents are mental and cannot be applied to anything out of the mind. The concept of the word concept, it is something that we cannot see outside. The concepts human, tree, etc. are reference for concept, and all are mental images realized in the mind. Note number 2. Some concepts have no available reference, and their reference are non-existent matters, like the concepts of non-existence. There's no existence of the concept non-existence, or that of concurrence of two contradictions, and partner of the creator. We cannot imagine anything that could be a partner to the creator. Division of concept into universal or kullī and particular or juz'ī. The concepts in our mind are not the same. For example, consider the concepts Tehran and capital. What is the difference between the two concepts? It is clear that the concept Tehran is a particular one and has only a unique referent, whereas capital has various referents. It could be Manila, it could be Tokyo, it could be Kuala Lumpur, it could be Singapore City, Singapore City, it could be Kuwait City, etc., etc. Generally, with regard to these two concepts, mental concepts are divided into universal and particular concepts. Let us deal with the universal concepts first. Universal concepts apply to more than one referent, such as the concepts human, city, capital, the necessary being or wajibul wujud, and partner of the creator. By the way, the necessary being refers to Allah Ta'ala. Particular concepts. Particular concepts do not apply to more than one referent, such as the concepts Tehran, Kaaba, Iran, Socrates, and Quran. Take note that, as mentioned above, the criteria for universality or particularity of a concept are its ability of application or the lack of it to various referents respectively. Let us elaborate. The realization of referent or lack of realization of referent has nothing to do with universality or particularity. So it means that particular concepts may or may not have an actual referent, actual, which we call in Arabic as bil fi'l, meaning in actuality. A universal concept could be either of the following. 1. It has no external reference, and essentially realization of reference for it is impossible. For example, the concept's contradiction, partner of creator, and non-existence. Number 2, there is no external referent for it, but the realization of a referent for it is not essentially impossible. So, for example, the concepts winged man or man with wings and golden mountain. Number 3, there is just one external referent, and realization of another referent for it is essentially impossible. So again, we cite the example of the concept of the necessary being or wajibul wujud, which is referring to Allah Ta'ala. It is not possible to have two necessary beings, because the moment that there are two necessary beings, the one must be something that is not necessary being, because necessary being is the origin of all. Number 4, there is only one referent, and the realization of another referent for it is not essentially impossible. For example, the concepts the ground, moon, and the sun, according to the ideas of the ancients. Number 5, it has various but limited reference, such as the case of continent and ocean. There are less than 10 continents, and there are less 10 oceans that we have. Number 6, it has various unlimited reference, such as the case of number 1, 2, 3 ad infinitum. Relative particular concept. The definition given for particular concept is in fact a definition for a factual particular concept. Logicians have another term for it, that is relative particular, juz'ī idāfi. It means that if two concepts are compared, then it is seen that one is conceptually broader than the other, such that the broader concept includes the other, but its opposite is not correct. Then the more limited concept is a relative particular. Let us elaborate on this. For example, if we consider the two universal concepts, human and animal, the concept animal obviously is broader than human, because animal includes man and other than man. Here, the concept human, though a universal concept, is a relative particular in comparison with the concept animal. So relative particular is defined as any concept in relation to a broader and more universal concept. So relative particular, that is what we call as juz'ī idāfi. Okay, so that's all for lesson 7. Let us have a review questions, or we may even better consider them to be prelectio questions. 1. Explain the term concept and referent through examples. 2. Compare particular and universal concepts through examples. 3. Explain all kinds of universal concepts through examples. 4. Define relative particular concept. Give one example. And as your practical exercise, the question is, are the following concepts factual, particular, relative particular, or universal and then explain why. So the terms are 1. Tehran, paper, garden, black man. Okay, so that's the end of lesson 7. Next meeting, we will talk about another topic, which is about the 4 relationships, inshallah ta'ala. So for more similar contents, subscribe to Wayfaring with Mansoor channel. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.